Hello and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode 323. I am one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the one and only Mr. Matt P. Video. How are you, Matt?
I love it. The pauses get longer each week. We never know which way he's going. I'm good, man. I'm feeling really good. How are you doing?
I might even do like a week where it's just 10 minutes of a pause, just to see if anyone even listens. Just to see how
The
many
audience
clicks
would
we
love
get.
it.
They'd hate it. I'd get so many bad messages. But
you would get people confused, like, "Hey, the podcast goes out for a while. Do you know what happened?"
Yeah, exactly.
Crash's mic is really low again.
Nah,
that's what people just assume it is.
Crash hasn't spoken for 10 minutes. Why? I know that was part of the bit. It was part of the bit. And of course, the one and only Too Fresh Crash. Crash, how are you?
Hello. I'm doing good.
Guys, I'm tired. I'm really tired. Like, really tired. Okay?
Blame Jeff Keighley. It's not on. They could do it at a different time that would work better for the UK. It's not fair, is it?
Yeah, but it's a global product, right? So, who gives a crap about the UK? We're tiny.
We have to be their second biggest audience.
You think so?
Are you sure about that?
I doubt that.
Who do you think is?
Australia?
What time is it in Australia when it happens?
It's always a bad time in Australia. I don't think they care.
I didn't think of the time there. I'm tired. Game Awards was yesterday. Obviously, I stayed up and watched the entire. I mean, yes, okay, fucking hell. I stayed up and watched the entire thing with Crash. Crash, we watched it together. It was a good time. It was. I think that was the perfect format for that type of show. So what we did, Matt, because I don't think you watched it or saw any of it, was we jumped in Discord together. But what we did was what Crash did was he muted himself or deafened himself so he could watch the trailers on his own, and then we pretty much just commentated over the rest of the stuff.
That makes sense.
So all the trailers that we didn't care about, so the trailers that weren't getting clipped out for YouTube, which there wasn't many, to be fair, to the Game Awards this year, we would just talk all over. And then we were just busting jokes the whole time, talking about the whole show as a whole, which, yeah, I had a really good time doing it, to be honest with you. It was a lot of fun. It reminded me of back in the day, Crash. You know?
Yeah, where everything was taped together, yeah.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I had Haley's laptop that almost blew up on me. I was in the front room. I had a USB microphone that was away from me, so there's probably a bunch of air in there. It was just, yeah, it wasn't a great setup, but I think we made it work, and the people that were there seemed to have enjoyed it, so that was all that mattered at the end of the day.
100%.
If you don't know, My Xbox and Me is a weekly Xbox podcast about all things Xbox. You can get the show early over on patreon.com/mcfixer. Me and Crash, I come up with an idea yesterday that I think is going to happen. So keep your ears peeled and your eyes peeled for that. It's going to be... Matt P's not going to be happy about it, but... You right there, Haley? You good?
Well,
okay.
We're good?
Yeah, Haley literally, she was about to walk straight into the room, but then she just crawled on the floor with a makeup bag and perfume, and she puts it on like a little gremlin coming out of nowhere. I'm like, people know you exist. I talk about you on the podcast. It's okay. It's okay. Also, go find us on all podcast services and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Big shout out to Patreon producers Erengard and FNH Paul. We literally couldn't do this show without you, so thank you guys for your support. Topic of the show. Everything that was announced at the Game Awards, lads. Before we jump in, Crash, I know for a fact you watched it because you was with me. Literally had your voice in my head at the time. Matt P, did you watch the show?
I skimmed through
it
today.
That's a no! Yes! He sucks, everybody! We got him!
Well, I definitely didn't watch it live because it was 1 a.m.
Well, actually, technically, it started at 12:30.
Actually, technically, the pre-show started at 12:30.
Oh my fucking god, we've all become like actual nerds. God damn it.
It is such a mammoth show at this point. What, like the main body of the show was like 3.5 hours, right? Yeah. Not including pre-show, which is like,
no.
Oh my god, wow. And like you say, actually, announcement-wise, what was there, four or five things? Like,
we'll get to it. But I'd like to talk about the show itself first of all. because I feel like it's very important. If you didn't watch it, Kresh, what did you think? Don't drink that water, Kresh. What did you think?
I'm not. I put it down. I thought it started off really strong. And then towards the middle, I'd say even before the middle, I'd say like including pre-show at about like an hour and a half mark, it sort of started going downhill, and not downhill to the point where it was like an unenjoyable show, but to the point where just no super exciting announcements were happening. And I don't think it ever picked up in the announcement department.
Well, even the final announcement, which we'll get to later on in the show, I was like, wait, that's it? Like, it just didn't feel... We're going to go through everything that got announced that matters to the Xbox platforms. And this is not in the right order, I don't believe. So this is going to come through everywhere, which makes it even harder. My opinion of the show itself was, looks beautiful, as always. Production value, amazing, as always. Jeff Keighley has found his formula. He's found his team. He knows what he's doing when it comes to these shows now, which is great, because that's what you need at the end of the day. And so he should. It's been his, I think they said it was 8th year, which to me is scary, because I know I watched the one previous to when it was the Game Awards. What was that? It was like NTNT or something like that, and it was awful with Joe McElderry. Is that his name?
The guy who won X Factor?
From Community. No, that's the X Factor guy. You're
Joe
right.
McHale.
Yes,
Joe McHale?
Yeah, and he was awful. It was like video games guys that are like can never have sex. It was like those type of jokes, super low hanging fruit jokes. Just like my fiance trying to interrupt me again. This is my Xbox and me. What do you want, Haley? Where are your car keys? Get them. No one can even see you. You could have done that without us noticing.
I would really like to imagine that Haley isn't there and fixes his radio
to prove you exist. Okay, there we go. Okay, everybody. See you later. Have a nice time.
I didn't see a hand. So.
You did. Stop it. Don't do that. People will think I'm crazy. She does exist. She does exist.
How much sleep have you had?
I am running off of 4 hours of sleep. 4 hours.
Good man.
After doing a 24-hour day. Like, what the hell is wrong with me? I did think the initial show was a lot of fun. I agree with you, really, Kresh. It was super jam-packed at the front and left a lot to be desired in the middle and the end. Jeff Keighley needs to not hype these things up. And yeah. I think this is the first year that I've stopped going in with expectations for these type of shows on purpose, because 9 times out of 10 I'm let down by them. Like, that is just the facts. That's what happens. I had no expectations until Jeff Keighley was like 4 announcements of the same level as Elden Ring, and I'm like, okay, so what are we getting here? And the argument could be had that there were, but yeah. I don't think there was, to be totally honest with you. But let's go down the list nonetheless. Again, I'm going to stumble over a couple of these just because it ain't in the order. I don't know what is exactly coming to Xbox and what isn't. I'm running off 4 hours of sleep. Please do not crucify me. We had a brief teaser for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, which looked fine. Looks kind of like a Friday the 13th type game. 4-player, asymmetrical, 1 killer, 4 survivors. I'm sure this will do very well. The horror community love these type of games. You're seeing Prop Night that's just came out that's doing really well. Dead by Daylight is still going absolutely strong. I'm sure this will do fine. The next one that matters to the Xbox platform, we assume, is the Expanse? Is that right?
Yeah.
Which was the Telltale series game. I didn't get it. I have not seen the TV show. I believe there's a TV show to go a lot like that this has come from or something like that. This is the new Telltale since they died. And I've got bad feelings about this company dying very, very soon again.
Really?
Yeah. Well, they had 2 announcements here.
I was going to say.
And it hasn't even gotten to The Wolf Among Us, which is confirmed already that they're making one.
Yeah.
So.
I think the next time we heard from Telltale, I assumed it was going to be Wolf Among Us
Mm.
because they needed to come out with a bang at the end. In my opinion, at the end of the day, it's like that old company died. We had the No Clip documentary came out where they brought all the devs back, and it was really emotional and really good. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. But I just was like, well, that company's dead. Okay, this is the new company. They're going to want to come back with a bang. And instead, we got this, and we'll talk about Star Trek as well. Who was asking for a Star Trek walking sim game? Maybe somebody, I guess. But not me. Not me.
We think of Telltale as very different to how the mainstream does, right? Which is the mainstream doesn't know or care who Telltale is. They just care that there is a game coming out that's The Walking Dead or The Expanse or a thing that they care about. And guess what? They don't care about The Wolf Among Us. Like that is not the same caliber as The Expanse or Star Trek.
I would ask if they even care about The Expanse. Star Trek, yeah, I'm sure that people care about.
I don't know what The Expanse is.
That's what I'm saying. I think that's kind of the problem with what happened with Telltale as well, is that they went for these big headline games, or these big headlined universes, but even the people who cared for those universes didn't necessarily buy these games.
Yep.
And it seems like they're going back down that route where it is like, hey, here's this IP, do something with this IP. And they're going to put their hands in so many pockets, but they're not going to really cash out on any of them in any significant way.
We know they're working on Wolf Among Us. We now know Star Trek. We now know The Expanse. To me, I'm just like, just focus on one damn game and get it out and get it to being the best game it can be. Like, this company's already died once. Don't make the same mistakes they made, which I remember when THQ died, then became THQ Nordics, and they started doing the exact same thing that THQ did. And I'm like, they're still alive, so maybe I don't know business enough. Maybe I just don't understand how this works, but which is definitely could be the case. Next up, we had some Monster Hunter Rise, Sunbreak. That is the new DLC. Again, it looks like more Monster Hunter for people that enjoy it.
Yeah.
They're going to love it. I'm looking forward to hopefully jumping in some Monster Hunter Rise on PC when it comes next year. I think it's January, early next year. I enjoyed what I've played of Monster Hunter and the series, and there are a few things I dislike about it. This DLC looks cool. It was again, it's one of those weird ones where like it's a cool announcement, but it's not to the level in which I had set my expectations. Yeah, no, this isn't. I don't think anything that we've spoken about so far is of the 4 that Jeff was alluding to, right?
I think The Expanse probably is.
No way.
Wrong.
I didn't.
You're wrong.
I've never heard of The Expanse before yesterday.
No, me either.
I was super confused with what was being shown.
I agree. I think when Jeff said 4 Elden Ring announcements, I think he considered that one.
I don't think so.
Wait, no way.
Because Telltale, first of all, Telltale's not a similar level studio compared to From Software.
100%.
I don't think The Expanse is a similar sort of IP as if you would consider Dark Souls to be sort
guys,
of.
100%.
By the way, we're in the pre-show right now, I believe. I've just looked down this article. That can't be right. That can't be right.
Fair enough.
That's pre-show. That's pre-show.
It is pre-show. Then it's in order.
Okay. Then I take back what I was saying, because there's no way Jeff considered those 4 things and would have put one of them in the pre-show. I take it back.
Wait, look. I takesy backsies.
I takesy backsies.
Yeah, I think I'm. Yeah. Anyway, next up was the Thirsty Suitors, which this game looks awesome. This was one of those games that I have really enjoyed the look of, and was one of those ones where I was like, "Yep, I hope." Number one, I will try and play this definitely, and I hope it comes to Game Pass if it comes to Xbox, because it's got that sort of style that I think would work with Game Pass players. Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. It looked kind of like it kind of reminded me of like Parappa the Rapper as it destroyed the live stream in a way, not all the way, but it seemed really cool. Dating simulator. You said Crash Scott Pilgrim-y.
Yeah, it gave me a lot of Scott Pilgrim vibes watching it.
Yeah, really, really liked the look of this one, and I'll definitely be playing that next year if that's when it releases. Matt, do you know what this one is?
No, I totally missed this one. I was trying to look it up as you were then talking about it, and I can't find it, so I don't know what we're talking about.
Use the link we're using from the Google Doc. and then you could see all of the trailers, Matt. You could just mute the audio, and you could watch it and pretend to know what you're talking about.
What? You crazy.
Fucking amateur. Next up, we had Evil West, which was the third person. I don't really know what it was. A third person adventure. I'm sure it would go in. It would go in the action adventure category. It looked good. It looked good.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the look of the game. It tonally looks like a me type game. I don't know if it's one of those games that I could see myself playing for about 10 minutes and going, this isn't for me, or I could see myself playing it, absolutely loving it, and sticking with it all the way through. One way or the other, though.
Yeah, I was kind of a little shocked by how much I enjoyed this game was looking. I think the character design was really cool. The weapons he had the it's not a fist, but he had the blades that came out.
Yeah,
from his
like
fist and stuff
Wolverine,
like that.
Wolverine claws.
Yeah, I thought that all looked cool. I'm very interested to see what the whole game is, because like we've seen the gameplay and the gameplay looks cool.
Yeah.
Now I'm just interested in like what the structure of what you're doing in the game is, and that'll really define whether it's a me game or not.
Yeah. You're definitely a gameplay first type of guy, though.
I am a gameplay first, but I also need a reason to be playing the game sometimes. And with a game like this, I feel like it is one of those games where I'm going to need a reason to be playing it. I'm going to need an end goal in sight and not just to play it for the sake of playing it. But I could be absolutely wrong and play it and absolutely love the way it plays.
Did you check this one out at all, Matt?
I did not. I did not.
Matt, did you watch this show?
So bye-bye.
Did you not watch the pre-show?
No, I didn't watch the pre-show. I didn't know there'd be cool shit in the pre-show.
There's only a couple more, so you're fine. Go on, Crash.
Be fair, the pre-show was me and you were talking about it when it was happening. It was better than we expected it to be.
100%. It was paced well. It had it had, apart from the awards part, I don't think an award show should be able to put awards in a pre-show. I think it waters down those awards. It makes it seem like those awards are less than.
But is it better to show them during the pre-show or to not show them at all and announce them like, oh, and this won this during the main show?
Bro,
and not really
you can't
give it its
have
time.
a category like Games for Impact and then not put it on the main show.
I agree. I don't disagree.
You can't.
You're right. That is a bit of a silly
proving
thing
the point of it has no impact.
Sure.
So,
but yeah, all award shows do this, right? Like even the Oscars does this, where it's like, oh, and by the way, these awards that we don't give a shit about, we're also giving out, and this is who won them. Like,
yeah, but Matt, did you know?
Happens.
Fuck the Oscars.
Well, fair enough. But,
I don't know if my Nvidia picked that up, but it was fuck the Oscars, just so people are aware. Fuck the Oscars. I shouted. I'm sorry.
Can you spell it? I didn't quite get that.
If I could spell Oscars, I would. Moving on. We got Persona 4 Arena. Oh, no, wait, we didn't, because it's not coming to Xbox. I just wanted to rub it into the Xbox audience a bit more that they hate us. Why does Atlas hate us? Why does Sega hate us? They'll never give us a Persona game ever. Why? This is a remake of a game that is on Xbox.
It was on the 360, yeah. It's
what a joke.
I think this is the biggest telltale sign that like Persona might never come to Xbox anytime soon.
PC, Switch, PS4.
There's gotta be something there. There's gotta be a story we don't know about.
The contract must be crazy. It must be crazy. Because Sega have been better at putting these type of games on Xbox finally, like Yakuza and like what is it with Persona? They're just like, no, you can't.
I wonder if it's Persona or if it's Atlas, because we also don't know what type of what type of freedom that Sega gives Atlas for like where their games end up and stuff like that. So there is a possibility that it's not Sega and it's just Atlas. Like, these are the platforms we want to develop the games for.
Bro.
Which still doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm just trying to rationalize it in some sort of way.
Fine. Sure, fine. All right, moving on to the main show. We open the show with Hellblade 2, Senua's Saga, sorry. It looks ridiculously good. that could be said. Jeff was very he wanted to hammer home that this is gameplay, and this is the first look, and this is gameplay, and this is gameplay. It didn't quite seem like gameplay, and it didn't seem like there was much of a game there, if that is the gameplay. But I could be wrong.
What defines gameplay? Because I think what we saw...
Is it something that's interactive? Is that what gameplay is?
I think so. Because then if you're saying that's not what it is, then I think a whole lot of games stop becoming games that we've like sort of labeled as games. Because you could argue that a walking simulator then is something that you just interact with. You're not actually playing something in the way you would assume.
I as much as I dislike your argument, I can't disagree with you. You're right.
Yeah. So like I think it's gameplay. I don't think it's the best show of gameplay. I think you can make the argument that while they say it's gameplay, we didn't see any sort of UI or anything to indicate that it's anything more than sort of a what's the word? Engine showing or something like that, right?
It looked like a cutscene that had QuickTime events in it.
There were moments that it looked like...
But not traditional QuickTime events, right? I guess that would be...
Well, we just weren't seeing the HUD of the cutscene. We weren't seeing the circle close in and then the timing of the hit R2 at this point to launch the spear at the baby.
To be fair, because there was no HUD, we also don't know if the person who was controlling the character...
Sorry, can we just hold on Matt's the baby thing?
It looked like a giant creepy baby man.
I liked it. Did you like it at least, what we got to see?
100%. I just thought it was so weird for them to be like, this is gameplay. And then to get in there and be like, I don't know what...
Or was it Jeff?
Or Jeff.
Oh, well, sure, either way.
Well, no, it's not. No, I disagree with you because you're saying they were, which maybe I'm wrong, but that to me implies Microsoft and the studio's giving my name. Thank you very much. Ninja Theory were like, hey, you better say this is gameplay. Like, we want you to drum home the fact this is gameplay. Or if this was Jeff saying this is gameplay, like, because Jeff gets slated a lot for all these great announcements, yes, but a lot with no gameplay. So is this a him thing or is this an Xbox thing? You know what I mean?
Interesting. I definitely got the feeling it was an Xbox thing to be like, make sure you
I got the feeling it was a Jeff thing.
Yeah, I'm with Fix only because Jeff does this a lot. If you watch everything he does, Jeff has a tendency... No, but all of his stuff, like the Summer Game stuff and everything, he has a tendency to overhype or put an overemphasis on something that isn't necessarily super relevant to what's being shown. And I feel this seemed, and that might not be the case. They might have just said like, hey, just mention that it's gameplay. And Jeff was like, I understood the assignment and went a little overboard with it.
I will complete this mission, Xbox. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looked like gameplay to me. Was it the most elaborate gameplay? No, but I don't think award shows, not even award shows, I don't think all the time's necessarily the time to have like these really in-depth gameplay scenes. And I think this was fine for the award show, what we saw.
No, I totally agree. I thought it was a good showing.
Yeah. This did what it was meant to do.
Yeah.
Are all three of us here talking about it? Yes. I speak for myself, and you two can speak for yourself, but I'm more excited about this game than I was. That is the objective. Jeff completed his mission. That was the objective. And for someone like myself who's still yet to play the first game, it makes me go, the whole listening to that trailer, and people have told me about the audio. Even listening to that trailer with crappy in-ear headphones, I was like, I'm starting to understand. And if the trailer has done that, then imagine how good the game is. You know?
100% agree with you. I started Senua 1 downloading whilst I was at work, catching up. And so,
they do such...
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, they did such a good job in the first game with it that I couldn't actually finish the game because like the audio was actually very off-putting in a good way.
In the way
not in a negative way.
Yeah.
In the way it was meant to. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Very cool.
Are you working from home again?
No, I'm not.
Wait, what? But Boris has sent you home.
Boris has said, Boris has said work from home if you can.
And you're like, hell no.
So So I'm in the office.
It. Nobody gives a fuck about what Boris has said, by the way. Everyone who's not from the UK, nobody cares. They don't care.
That's a different conversation.
I've seen him getting dragged on my Twitter feed.
Yeah, he's an idiot. Next up, we had a big cinematic trailer for Star Wars Eclipse. This is a Quantum Dream game. I don't know what to say, other than the fact that it looked like Star Wars, and I didn't see Jar Jar Binks, so I was upset. Simple. Matt, you're a Star Wars guy, right?
Yeah, more so than you, apparently. Yes, absolutely.
Oh.
This looked awesome. This got me very excited. Disney just letting anyone and everyone make a game, and I'm kind of all for it.
No, I'm the opposite, and I don't even care
make
about
all
Star
the games.
Wars.
Honestly, like, I'm surprised this isn't a Telltale game. What are they doing? They're missing prime opportunity.
Drop the ball. Well, they went Star
Yeah.
Trek. You can't have Star Trek and Star Wars at the same time. Come on now.
Cross over the universes.
Wow.
Make everybody mad.
Wow.
Yeah, that would make everybody
Wow.
mad. That would make everybody mad. No, I mean, who knows what this game really is? The like you say, the cutscenes or whatever they showed off looked amazing.
Trailer.
Thank you. Cinematic is what I was looking for. I couldn't grasp it.
No,
the cinematics look incredible, and yeah, hats off to it because it's stunning. But who knows what this game actually is, right? So
can I just let you guys know?
Yeah.
This game's getting 7s.
Wow, what makes you say that? Quantum Dream.
Quantum Dream.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Fair enough.
But a few websites were calling it a action adventure game, and I don't know if there's any merit to that.
Okay.
But they were describing it as an action adventure game. I don't know how accurate that is. I just thought I'd mention it. I was into it.
Is getting a 6.5.
I don't think it'll
you just
score
downgraded
super
it.
highly. I was watching the trailer. I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe this is because every time Star Wars comes on, and I'm always like, this is gonna be the moment. And then I watch it, and then Quantum Dreams pops up, and I'm like, nope, not gonna be the moment.
Crash.
This is definitely not the moment.
These are not the droids you're looking for. Oh,
I
Crash,
hate that.
got
I get
you.
that
Sorry,
reference.
I got you. Crash.
Yeah,
Mister,
okay.
Mister. There you go. Now we're talking. Now we're fucking talking, my guy. You know what I'm saying?
Man, like Jar Jar Binks.
Wow.
Man, like if you put Jar Jar Binks in this game, I'd buy it day one, and it would get
10 out of 10.
eights.
Ace. I'm sorry, I pushed it a little bit. I overestimated Jar Jar's power.
I'm sure people listening will understand. Me and Chris are not Star Wars people. Matt, you are already going to have to drive this conversation if you are someone who cares about Star Wars.
No, I know. I care, but in I am not a massive Quantum Dream fan, and I guess I'm excited. Like they did what they needed to do with the cinematic, which was put a shot of Yoda in it, right? And people would be like, "Oh, it's Star Wars."
Yeah.
And that was basically it, right? Like they showed
Is
some
that
cool
all you
Jedi
need,
fighting
Yoda?
and stuff.
Just
Basically, because otherwise, your mainstream doesn't give a shit. Like you know.
Okay.
Go on, Crash.
Yoda for a lot of people fix is our Jar Jar.
Nah, fuck
To be
that.
fair.
Yoda isn't even close to Jar Jar. Like I think people think I'm like super memeing, and half I am, but Star Wars Episode 1 is a fantastic film.
Well, from all accounts, this takes place just before Star Wars Episode.
So we could see Jar Jar. Is that what you're telling me?
The birth of Jar Jar when it becomes
knows?
Sith Lord. I like it.
I
like it.
I did not see this coming.
Thank
Did
you,
not
Matt.
see this coming.
I gotta make sure I let everybody know this is Matt's theory.
This game is going to be a 4 out of 10. I've decided it's going to be a 4
Wow.
out of 10. We got a Lost Ark trailer, which is Amazon Games' new MMO. Don't think that's coming to Xbox
PC
just
only.
yet. But you never know. You never know. Things could happen. You never know. Okay. Of everything that we've spoken about so far, I think it's a great time to interject here. Is Hellblade 2 on the level of Elden Ring?
Yes.
No, Chris says.
I don't think
Chris
so.
is I love you. This is an audio podcast. You need to speak.
Yeah, I apologize. I thought Matt was gonna go into a dialogue, and I didn't want to cut Matt off. So I just I do not think it is.
So we've got one yes, one no. I think for the sake of this showing and knowing what was there, I'm gonna say this was one of them of the 4. I would say
That's fair.
Star Wars Eclipse they've counted as one of the
Yes.
4?
100%.
Okay, moving
So we're
on.
2 out of 4 right now.
2 out of 4 right now. And okay, we'll get to it. Next up, we got to see Monolith's new game, right?
Yep.
It is Wonder Woman. We are getting a Wonder Woman video game, which 3? We're getting 3 Wonder Woman games.
3 of 4.
No, that's the
3
third
of 4.
one.
Oh, that's boring.
That's
I was
the
hoping-
other
I was
Elden
hoping we had some
Ring
inside
level
scoop.
enhancement. No.
Yeah, so this one's actually big, right? Like,
Yeah.
the problem with this announcement isn't that this announcement happened; it was that we saw nothing. Like,
This is a 2025 game as far as I'm concerned. Like, it has to be.
Yeah,
Right?
it's
Like,
not. I don't think it's that close. But is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Because we haven't seen Monolith since. Was it 2017? It wasn't 2017. It was after that,
I'll
right?
look it up. 1 second.
We haven't seen them a while.
This was about as good as just getting a splash screen, right? And saying
This was
saying Wonder Woman.
better
Like,
than that. It was better than a splash screen. You have to give them
Was
that.
I
it?
think it built more hype than a splash screen.
Chris, you
All right,
are
fine.
right. It's 2017.
Yeah, we haven't seen them.
Middle-earth
Good
Shadow.
shame.
Maybe it is closer than we think. Then
Yeah. Like I wouldn't be I don't think it'll be a 2025 game. I don't think it'll be a 2022 game either. But
Why
I don't
would you
think-
show this
23?
if it?
6 years.
Because the thing with DC that a lot of other shows don't have, DC has their own conference every year in DC fandom.
Sure.
And
Yeah,
and they
yeah,
also
yeah.
showed the Suicide Squad gameplay here. Why would you put all your eggs in one
Spoilers.
basket?
Fuck
Would be
me.
my
I'm
line.
trying to run
I
a show here.
apologize.
Fuck's sake. God damn it.
I apologize. Everybody, that is not the information you heard. What's the Star Wars
Jesus.
trick?
These are not the information you're looking for.
I'm enjoying myself.
Honestly, it was better than a splash screen. It didn't do anything for me. People were saying, oh, like, I know Mr. Mitch George come into my chat today, and he was like, oh, Wonder Woman, oh, and I'm like, we have seen nothing. The game could literally be a cardboard cutout picture of Wonder Woman at this point. You can't get excited for something we've not seen.
100%.
Disagree. This was the most exciting announcement for me this whole show.
We don't
Are you being
know
genuine?
what it is.
Whole thing. Yeah, but I already know the last game they made, which was Shadow of War and Shadow
know
of
you
War.
are.
And I enjoy that gameplay. And thinking of
But,
a Wonder
like-
Woman game in that style is really fun. And
you're
then just
getting-
to also think of what they do with the Nemesis system in a game like this is
you
very
think-
exciting.
You think Nemesis is back?
I absolutely think they'll do Nemesis.
Oh, wrong Nemesis. My bad. Wrong Nemesis.
I agree. I think Nemesis is back, and it should be, and it's amazing and awesome. But tease that. If you're going to show off this game, remind people why they should give a fuck. Give us some more context for what this Wonder Woman is about, and what the story, what we're doing. And
Do you want to know why people should give a fuck about this? Just plain, because it's Wonder Woman. That's why. Like that's
Nobody
what
gives
it
a fuck
is.
about
That's
Wonder
the
Woman.
reason. That's not true at all. That is absolutely not true.
all right, nobody should give a fuck about Wonder Woman
Why?
because what culturally relevant piece of Wonder Woman have we had? Like the second
First
Wonder
Wonder
Woman
Woman
movie
movie.
destroyed
Okay.
all good Wonder Woman will.
But
there was.
the first movie existed.
The first movie was great, but the second
Yeah.
movie was so bad. The
Okay.
second movie was so terrible.
And then you have a whole bunch of people who also grew up on the Justice League animated TV show. And that whole bunch of love for Wonder Woman there. People who love the comics, Wonder Woman had a really good comic within like I don't remember when the comic happened, so I don't want to give it
Amazing.
time.
Amazing.
But she
That's
had a
how-
really good comic book run as well.
Amazing.
I mean, that's how relevant it was, and that's how amazing it was, and that's how mainstream it was that you can't remember when it was or what it
But
was.
like the thing about Wonder Woman is you don't need any of that. Wonder Woman is a household name.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just think like they just needed to give a bit more here. This was a waste. This was a wasted opportunity, I think.
Oh, you finished? Perfect.
If you're not watching the YouTube version, you should be because you missed a whole lot of Oscar-winning performance there from Fixer.
I love it when you go back and forth personally, because it just lets me sit here and enjoy the show for once, you know? It's nice. Yeah, for so many years, it was me doing the back and forth on my own. So now, I agree with both of you. I know I was mucking around, but I do agree with both of you. I am definitely in the mind more with Matt P, but in the same breath, I'm a DC hater. That is that is true. Crash knows. Like I'm only now starting to learn, even to this day, how good DC actually is, because I view DC films so poorly that it sours my taste to everything DC, and it shouldn't. Like there is so much good DC out there, but I am with you, Matt. In regards to, I just don't care about Wonder Woman. I don't care about Superman, and I don't care about Wonder Woman. They're two characters I just don't care.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying they could have made you care about this if
they still can,
and they still can. But they could have done it last night. They could have done it yesterday. Even if she was like talking about making enemies and just like alluding to a nemesis system, or like
something,
there was just some context to what this game is. They could have made you care. Just
a piece of dialogue, just a nice bit of dialogue of the character speaking, something more than what we got, which was the character model and the lasso. Right? That's pretty much what we got.
She was talking about something, but it was just like generic rubbish.
Generic Wonder Woman stuff.
You don't even remember what she was saying?
No. Wow. You?
Bad argument. What? Me?
Do you?
I was mesmerized by what I was seeing.
Right. Okay.
I was so hyped with what I was seeing. My ears tuned out.
I also think this probably doesn't look like the character that ends up being in the game. Like, do we actually think this is the character model that they're using? Maybe it is.
I think this is what it's based on.
I
wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't. It really depends how far along they are.
Sure.
At last game they put out was in 2017, but we also don't know if they started Wonder Woman right after that, right?
No, we don't have a clue.
Because it could have been like they started Wonder Woman last year or before last year. Whatever they were on before that would have been scrapped.
Because what year did the film come out? The first film.
I'm not
probably
too
around then.
Sure.
I mean,
yeah.
So they would have been like, oh, there's enough hype around Wonder Woman. Like, let's get working on a Wonder Woman game to... Yeah, exactly. So it wouldn't surprise me if they were like, hey, the new movie's coming out, people are liking it, or the new movie's out, people like it. Wonder Woman is now a big enough franchise for us to follow on from Lord of the Rings, right? And like leave Lord of the Rings behind and now do Wonder Woman. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they have been working on it since then. Show me more. Get me excited.
Look, there's a couple of things here though that you have to hit on. Like Crash said, Nemesis system with a character like Wonder Woman can work 1000%. And though I didn't like what Shadow of War ended up having in its end game, because it became very grindy and it was very disgusting, if we're being totally honest with you. Like, I got all the way to that part and was like, I'm not doing the rest of this. I said, I'm done. So I didn't even get to see the end of that game. But other than that, leading up to that point, that game is fantastic. Mm-hmm. And so is Middle-earth as well. Shadow of Mordor as well. Like, they are both two fantastic games. And applying that formula to Wonder Woman could only be a good thing. So I do agree with you that I'm excited to see more. And that's kind of where my excitement ends. Speaking of excitement though, Crash, you almost saw a full-on freak-out moment. Almost. Alan Wake 2 was revealed, which for me was the biggest announcement of the show by a mile. It was done in a really cool way. It not only that, having Sam Lake there to expand on what the game was, with him saying the magic words to what most people will know I love, which is survival horror. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, fucking hell, it's done. Like, I can't I love Alan Wake. It holds a very special place in my heart. It was one of the... So I didn't play it when it first came out, but Haley's brother lent it to me, and it was one of those games where I'm like, oh. And it was like the first time we ever met. He lent me like 11 games. I was like, oh, this won't be... It must be like to be rich. It was like Borderlands 2, the Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, Alan Wake, a bunch of stuff. Doesn't matter. But I remember playing Alan Wake, and it holds like a special place in my heart. And now, finally... getting a sequel to a game that I've wanted for years, I'm very happy about it. And it looked tonally, it looked perfect. And after what they've done with Control, though I've not played Control yet, Remedy still to this day haven't put out a bad game from what I've played. And I don't think they're going to start now with Alan Wake personally. Matt, we'll start with you. What did you think of the Alan Wake reveal trailer?
Yeah, it got me excited. Yeah, and I agree with you that I think it was probably the best announcement of the night. I've never played Alan Wake. Remedy games, the only one I've played is Control, and I adored Control. And I know. Max
Payne?
Oh yes, of course I played Max Payne. Apologies, I forgot that was Remedy.
I was about to. Whoa, though. You never played Max Payne? Crash?
No, yes.
You played Max Payne, right?
Absolutely.
I think Crash is lying.
God, he's so
I've definitely
young.
I've definitely not played Max Payne.
You've never played Max Payne?
Never played Max Payne. By the time I would have gotten around to Max Payne, I looked at Max Payne. I was like, old game's old, you know?
I hate you so much. Sometimes I say things and I just wish I never said them, you know?
Like old game.
Yeah, like old game's old. And last week I got quoted of, fuck you and this baby. So, sorry, man, carry on. I apologize.
Well, no, I mean, to tie into that, the reason I've never played Alan Wake is because old game's old, and yeah, I've never gone back to it, and so this got me excited. It makes, yeah, I know, and I know it ties into Control as well, and so I know I need to get into it, right? So, yeah, I'm all for it. I'm excited, but well, I think there are heavy implications, or implications is the word I'm looking for, but you guys understand what I'm saying. It's heavily hinted that Control and Alan Wake are in the same universe, and I think they even confirm it in some DLC somewhere.
Yeah, I think there's a DLC that connects them in some sort of way.
Yes, exactly. So I need to get back to Alan Wake, and I need to play that DLC, and then maybe when I'm done with all that,
you still got a while. Alan Wake 2 is not coming out until 2023. Could get pushed. You got plenty of time.
Yeah. I got time.
We could get a HD remaster remix by then. You never know.
Of Alan Wake, didn't they? They already did it.
No.
Alan Wake remaster.
It's an HD remaster remake. It's a remake of the HD remaster.
Remake.
Right.
Next up, we had the Sonic trailer. Don't care. Then you had Horizon Forbidden West. Don't care. Then you had a piece of news that really fucking annoyed me, Crash. You had Final Fantasy VII coming to PC. But where is it on Xbox, goddammit? Where is it?
I'm going to get that pizza back.
I think you can get that pizza back.
Not yet. I'm alright. I've still got a year.
Yeah, you got a year.
I just don't think...
this is just another nail in the coffin. It's not the last nail in the coffin, but we're working our way.
You also have to remember that your exact pizza bet fix. Your pizza bet isn't that it comes to Xbox.
Comes to Game Pass.
It comes to Game Pass as your pizza bet. I just want to
be fair. I think if it comes to Xbox, then it just comes to Game Pass.
I don't think so.
So I kind of think they're one in the same. And maybe they're not. And if they're not,
no. The bet was that it would come to Game Pass, and
yeah,
I think this strengthens my argument. I've got to be honest with you. I think because I think the longer this is out, the more they're going to want another injection of cash. Square Enix, and what is better than Xbox Game Pass to get some cash? No one's buying this game anymore. As we breathe life into it again, let's give it to a fan base that can't play it yet. Oh, I know what to do. We'll get Microsoft to open their wallets, and boom, it's in Game Pass.
100%.
I'm just saying, people have bought Skyrim like 15 times. I think people will buy this game 3 times.
Also very true.
I'm not saying they won't, but do you know what? I agree with you, but do you know what other games they would have bought over and over again?
What?
Final Fantasy VII OG, Final Fantasy VIII, Final Fantasy IX. All of those games come to Game Pass. I was shocked when they got announced. I was shocked. And I can just see them going, maybe it's not in Game Pass forever, But that's not what I need. I needed to be in Game Pass for a day, and I'll win this down there. I win this pizza.
Vic's just wants on the bet.
Speaking
I respect
of
that.
I've got pizza, so could you just cover this one?
Sure. Hit me with your PayPal.
But yeah, I was annoyed. It's weird because I was excited because playing this game on PC is going to feel amazing and going to look amazing, but it's not Xbox, and that's actually where I want to play. I want to 1000G this game. I've been holding off on the hard mode for this reason. So yeah, I said to Chris yesterday, I think Final Fantasy VII Remake probably the whole thing packaged together, including the DLC and stuff, I think it probably is in my top 5 games of all time.
Wow. I bounced off hard. If it came to Game Pass, I could see myself maybe trying it again. But yeah, I'm
you don't play it at all, man.
I put a couple hours in.
So you got to remember, even I did that though. I played the opening and was like, this isn't for me.
Oh.
And then I played it again, and again, I will admit that I played it I played it with Twitch chat and had people who already beaten the game very heavily guiding me. I was in terms of like teaching me how to use the what's the system called?
ATB.
Yeah, well, no. When you mix the
you like slow down time and
but like when you like put the thunder with a gun and you put the materia system.
The materia system.
Yeah, the materia system. Once I had them to teach me that, and once that clicked, that whole game clicked for me.
Yeah.
right.
But I had someone there to hold my hand. Despawn, if you know Despawn at all, he literally, him and I can't remember who the other person was in my chat and was like, there's a materia in this area that you might want to get. And I was like, thank you. And I'm just like running around the whole entire map going, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And yeah, the story for me, it hit me emotionally. And yeah, I'm sorry, don't really need to keep going.
Cool.
But it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Next up was Destiny 2, the Witch Queen trailer. This is new campaign stuff coming to Destiny 2. It should be out on February 22nd, 2022. I have not seen a trailer more generic in my life. I didn't realize it was Destiny.
Right, really?
I said, oh, Chris, what's this? It's Destiny. Yeah. I'm like, oh, fuck. Well,
I was gonna say, I think the music is iconic enough at this point for Destiny. I would.
It's the way they did the trailer though. It was like in real life, and like the gameplay wasn't really the focus. It was like, what?
Even when they had the gameplay, they had this weird effect over the gameplay in the beginning that made it look outdated, which I think is what they were going for. Mm-hmm. Like they wanted it to have an old feel for like story and narrative purposes, which I think on that aspect like actually got me excited for this in some degree.
Do you understand the story of Destiny?
Yeah. Do you not?
Yeah. No.
I do. I understand it.
What's the story, Fix? Yeah, that's what the breakdown.
Fix. Who is the witch?
Yeah.
Wait, have we met her before?
You should know.
You tell me.
I've beat Destiny 1 and 2. Like,
yeah, you should know.
So have I.
The witch is a woman.
Sure. Maybe. Probably not.
An alien-looking thing.
No, we were looking for a wizard from the moon.
I
was
close.
But
I was close.
That's kind of my point. Is
no,
that, like,
I don't have a clue.
I have no idea what's going on in Destiny, and I play it and I dip in and out, and I just go shoot some things and do the stuff that tells me to do, and I have a blast doing it, but I don't know who any of these people are or care.
That might be top 10 joke. I've got to say, that might be a top 10 joke of my Xbox and me. I'm sorry, we were looking for a wizard from the moon. Get that on a t-shirt.
You should do a My Xbox and Me game show.
Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, but I think this was more so a trailer for Destiny fans.
Oh,
like
100%.
Hardcore Destiny fans.
Sorry, I should have said, that's what surprises me, is that all of Destiny's trailers and all of their new content so heavily focuses on the story, and that is just so not the way I experienced that game, that it's like so jarring for me that there are people out there who understand this shit. Okay, great, good for you.
I think that's more of the people who stick around with it in the long term, which is probably why they go for that.
100%.
Yeah, so just quick note, Savathun is Oryx's sister, which is why it's exciting and interesting.
Sure.
Best raid boss in the game.
What did you
Right.
say?
What happened to
It's
Callus?
Oryx's sister.
Who?
Oryx.
Who's that? No, his name's Arax. He's a YouTuber. Yeah, I know him.
Eric's my bad. My bad. Oh. I get these YouTubers mixed up all the time.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It didn't do anything.
I think
Isn't
Destiny's gone past its expiration date for you.
Yeah.
If-
Remember when they first
yeah.
announced it and they were like, "This is a 30-year thing," and everybody was like,
Honestly,
"Really?"
It still could
now,
be.
100%.
I think-
it will be. It will be.
Yeah, I think if Destiny 1 never went from Destiny 2, I think we've talked about it on the podcast, like the outlook on Destiny and the attach rate to Destiny would be drastically different than it is now.
Mm.
I
Because they
still
sort
wouldn't
of
care for it because of the way they did the story. Anything that you have to read a bunch of bollocks is just bollocks.
That's fair.
I'm getting quoted on this fucking podcast again. Like, anything you have to read is a bunch of bollocks, a bunch of bollocks. Fuck,
And
why
fuck
do
you
I
and
do
your
this
baby.
to myself? If I had that with fuck you and your baby. Next up, we had Split Ahead, which is the new game from the previous Silent Hill director. It looked, I think it did really well in terms of what it was trying to get across. The creepiness and the eeriness of the world. These, I don't even know what to call, monster type things that can also turn back into their normal human state. It's a 1000% MC Fixer game. Definitely probably going to be playing this. I'm sure it'll be up there as once again, it will either be one of those games that I'm like, you will have to play it, or it will be yeah, don't worry about it. Don't stress. Looks better than Ghostwire Tokyo to me.
Oh, well, there we go.
I couldn't
big
give a
statement.
crap about Ghostwire Tokyo. I just couldn't care. But everything I've seen from that game, I just don't care. I'm sorry.
Watching this actually got me more excited for Ghostwire Tokyo. not even joking. While I'm watching this, I'm like, man, I'm so glad Ghostwire Tokyo's coming out. Because in the beginning, it was giving me like very similar vibes.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. And then towards the end, I was like, this just makes me think of Ghostwire Tokyo, and I'm excited for that game. So,
Next up, you had Nightingale. I don't remember this.
this was the one where you build bases.
Oh,
it's in the
this
Fey
one looked
world.
dope.
Yes.
Yes. This is it looked like about 10 players all jumping into one world. And yeah, it was like what do they call it? They called it like it's a crafted survival shared world game.
Yeah.
And survival, I'm all in. Crafting, I enjoy it. Shared world, please, if I could just get some friends next, that would be amazing. This looked really good. I really did like Matt. Let's be serious. Matt? Are we doing this? Matt?
We'll talk about it later, Matt.
Matt,
we have a
do
story
this.
coming up. Matt, do it. I don't know what he's gonna say. I don't know what he's gonna say.
You don't want to wave your hand that you're my friend, Matt.
We're friends.
Do it, Matt.
No. We're acquaintances. We're work acquaintances.
Wow.
A friend would be invited to a friend's wedding.
You know what? Fix 180 that? I agree with Fix. Work acquaintances.
Moving on.
That is a good point.
Lord of the Rings, Gollum. No, we're not doing this, Matt. We're not doing this on the podcast. I'm already heartbroken enough, okay? What did you think of Nightingale, anyway?
Me, Nightingale. We'll go back to. Are we on Lord of the Rings or Nightingale now? Which
Whatever
one?
you want. I don't care.
I don't really care about either of them. So there it is.
You would
Wow.
100% play Nightingale if I was like,
I would.
We're putting 10 men together. We're building up a
100%.
base. Come and help us. We need you.
100%. That's the sort of game it feels like, though. It's like Back for Blood, right? Like I had a great time in Back for Blood when I was playing Back for Blood with people, and now I'm not playing Back for Blood.
100%. I don't even
Same
think
thing.
I'm going to get to finish Back for Blood.
Oh, I finished it.
How wild is that?
I'm allowed to put it in my game
You know-
list, and you're not.
Are we changing that rule? I want to know if we're changing that.
Yeah,
So that's changed.
Yes, that's changed.
Okay. That's good
Dude,
to know.
if
That
that
fixes
doesn't
that
change,
game.
if that doesn't change, I don't think I beat 10 games this year.
That's fair.
That's mad. I've had such a weird year. All
Well,
I've done
you
is
don't
play
really beat
video games.
do you?
I'm pretty sure I'm a fake influencer.
Nah, mate, you're on the red carpet all the time.
That's one fake. Moving on. Lord of the Rings got them. They showed a cinematic trailer for this. Yeah, I couldn't give a crap.
Yeah,
I thought Gollum looked kind of wonky in this. I don't know what it was.
I agree.
I feel like it's a younger Gollum.
I think that's what they went for, but I don't think that's the reason. I think that he looks wonky. There's just something about his model that just looks off.
The voice
Also-
sounds amazing.
The voice is
Sure.
good.
Sure. I don't think Gollum ages like that. I think
What do you
Gollum
mean?
is like hundreds and hundreds of years old.
Let's find
So
out.
I
I
think
don't know Lord of the Rings.
I think Gollum is just
How old is Gollum?
when he dies. Spoilers.
Gollum is 589 years old.
See, so that's kind of my point. I don't
He's
think
always
it
old
matters if
person.
Yeah, but that's
If he's
his
like-
dog years. You missed it.
he's- Right. Okay.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
It's actually 7.
Yeah, they keep kind of hinting that this game is all about like the duality of Gollum versus Smeagol and like
Yeah.
you picking whether or not you're gonna kill these people or sneak past them or whatever, and that's kind of the whole point of this game. But I just don't really understand how that works in practice. And we keep seeing these like I know we've seen bits of gameplay here and there and stuff like that, and I'm not sure I really want a more lengthy gameplay demo from it because I'm not that interested. But I think that's what I need to understand what this game is.
How old do you think Frodo is?
Frodo,
54.
yeah, I think he's older than people think he is in those movies. I think he's like, I would say mid-40s.
He's 51.
Great. I was joking. Wow. So you know a bit about Lord of the Rings, Matt. I have a
little
question
bit.
about
Sure.
Gollum.
Yeah,
Does he
Gollum, yeah.
does he have multiple personality disorder?
Gollum.
Gollum.
No, Gollum.
Gollum.
Maybe it's the
Gollum?
British in me here, though.
Gollum.
Who am I to tell you how to say something, Grace? Let's be honest. Have you heard me read on this show? Sorry.
Does he have multiple personality disorder? Like, is he diagnosed with that in the world of Middle Earth, or what's the question?
Yeah, basically, is that something the books like portray him as having, or is it like a symptom of the ring or something along those lines?
Yeah, it's definitely a symptom of the ring thing. I don't know if it necessarily happens to anybody else though, like that, which is kind of a weird thing, I guess. But yeah, like he's just a hobbit called Smeagol, and then he finds the ring, and then I think he kills his brother for it or his best friend. They have like a fight over the ring, and he kills him. And then kind of over time, it becomes Gollum. And the ring he holds onto the ring for like 100 years, I think, and it kind of turns him into Gollum.
That's nothing.
And Gollum
He's 500.
Well, maybe it's longer. It might be longer.
Maybe
And
it is
actually, I think it is longer because I think the ring is what it like procrastinates his life. I think the ring is what makes him become old. Or like lets him live, because I think hobbits. Oh, we're getting deep, man. I think hobbits.
I like it.
Hobbits live a little bit longer, but not massively longer. And I think Bilbo has a similar thing where I think he's lived a lot longer than a hobbit should have, and it's because he's held on to the ring. I think somebody in the comments is going to tell me I'm chatting shit, and I may well.
Or
be.
nobody's gonna know about.
Do you know how old Bilbo was?
He
78.
when he gave up the ring, he was like, wasn't it his 100th birthday party? Wasn't that the whole point?
I've seen all of those films. It's like a Halo for me. I've played all the games, don't know what happens. Like a Destiny. I've seen all the Lord of the Rings. They're like 3 hours long. I don't know what happened. I was there. I was only young though when I watched them. He's 129.
Yeah, there we go. When he dies, yeah.
Oh, spoilers. Fuck.
Spoilers. Come on.
Jesus. Fuck.
All these characters dying. Who would have thought?
Everyone's dead. Damn. Moving on. We had a trailer for Somerville, which was the it was one of those games.
I don't remember this game at all.
It kind of reminded me of like I don't know, like a Limbo type game. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, is this the one where they were going through the desert? Or is that a different game?
I think that was a different. No, yeah, it like started off with him in a spaceship, and then it changed, and it was a whole thing. It did nothing for me personally. Like it was, not for me. Let's get through these next couple of ones because we've already gone longer than we expected. Cuphead DLC is coming out June 30th, 2022.
Brilliant.
Looking forward to that, of course. We had Sonic Frontiers, which is what everyone is calling Sonic Breath of the Wild.
I That'll end well,
It
I'm
looks
sure.
fitting in that. It always ends well when they're like, "This is gonna be a Breath of the Wild game."
Yeah, I know.
Always
Isn't that
works.
like the curse of any game to be like, it's that, but Breath of the Wild? It's like,
Yeah.
well, it's gonna be trash.
Yeah,
then.
because Breath of the Wild only works because it's Zelda. If we're gonna be honest.
Only works against Nintendo. Simple. Any other company makes that game, they get slated.
Except Halo Infinite is the Breath of the Wild of Halo, and that's pretty good. So
We can't
Or is
just
it the
say
Far
because
Cry
you're
of
free.
Halo?
What? I mean, we're not even gonna get to Halo on this episode.
Far
And that
Cry
makes me
6
sad.
No, I
is the
don't
Breath
think
of the
so.
Wild of Far Cry.
I mean,
I'm just taking the mic now.
Warhammer Vermintide 2 gameplay for that. It looks okay. Tachia this is the one I think you were thinking of with the Desert Crash.
Yes.
Then we got Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. We finally got to see our first bit of gameplay. Matt, what did you think?
It reminds me of why is the name escaping me?
Sunset
the
Overdrive.
best Sunset Overdrive. Thank you
Yeah,
so
it
much.
did
That's
for me as
exactly what
well.
I was thinking.
People said that. Why? Why? Did I miss
It was
something?
very movement heavy.
It seemed like it was very movement heavy, especially the kind of little bit of longer section they showed of Captain Boomerang looked very Sunset Overdrive. I thought of like the teleporting and the sliding and it all seemed like it was very rhythm, fast moving shooting stuff. And if that's what it is,
Even
I'm all for that.
yeah, even Killer. I guess his name Killer Shark. Wow, it's Killer Shark, right?
King Shark.
King Shark. It's King Shark. I'm thinking of somebody else with Killer Shark. I think.
Killer Croc is what you're thinking of.
Killer Croc.
You're
I'm thinking Killer
you're
Croc.
mixing the
King Shark. His game. Even he looked like he was, for being a bigger character. Even he looked like he was moving around a lot.
Yeah.
With fat shaming there? What the fuck?
I was absolutely not fat shaming.
You better not be.
Is he bigger than the other characters? Did I use the word fat? Did I use it in a derogatory way?
It depends on which way you look at them.
Oh, okay.
If you look at them all from a bird's eye view, they're
I was
all the
talking
same
about heart.
size.
I was talking about heart size, Fix.
Oh, okay. I mean, I agree.
Um,
I like the look of it. It didn't blow me away the way I wanted it to, though. If I'm being totally honest with you, I don't know what I was expecting, but this wasn't what I wanted. Not that it means it's going to be bad, but I feel like I don't know. Maybe it's going to translate better once it's 4 players and it's not me thinking about 4 different characters and it's me focusing on the one character that I am. But the trailer itself, which obviously it's his job to show what everyone can do, right? But for me, I was just like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I don't like how much they're using the Flash right now as well.
I think they probably don't want to show off too much of the other.
That makes
Superheroes.
sense.
It's a feeling
So
I
I
got,
think
yeah.
I think almost everything we'll see up until the game releases will probably be heavily around the Flash. It also makes the
Superman a little
sense. Yeah. But it also makes the most sense because the Flash is directly involved with Captain Boomerang, and so him being the comedic character that he is, it probably makes great moments for trailers, I'd assume.
Gotcha.
I think as well, you're right. And like they allude to it in this trailer, like they're going after the Flash. They feel like they can take on the Flash.
Yeah.
Whereas they don't stand a chance against any of the rest of the Justice League, right? And they allude to that as well in the trailer.
Flash.
Well,
Yeah, no.
and they kind of allude to that in the trailer as well, right? Like they don't actually stand a chance. And so it's a cool idea and a cool concept. And I think you're right. Maybe the Flash is the first Justice League member you come up against, and maybe this is early in the game. They don't want to give away too much. I hope that's all the case. But yeah, it surprises me that you're not into this, Fix, because this is not what I was expecting, and this got me so into this game, got me so excited for this game.
I'm curious with both of you. What were you guys exactly expecting?
I was expecting, I have no idea what I was expecting, actually. Probably something like Guardians of the Galaxy. And I don't think that's what we're going to end up with.
Interesting.
No.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting... This might sound stupid, but I just wasn't expecting so much shooting. I was expecting more melee.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think that's fair too.
Do you know,
Yeah, I
I
could
don't
definitely
know
see
why. I don't, do you know, like these characters, Harley Quinn shoots things all the time. But I wasn't expecting a shooter. I was expecting a melee game. And
Yeah.
and I just, so anytime I thought about the game, it was melee focus. That's where my head went to. So then they showed this trailer, and as you both have pointed out, it's more jumpy, shooty, sliding, movement, jump, bomb, glide, whatever it is you're doing. And I was just a bit like, whoa, that's not what I have in my head. In my head, I'm on the streets on my with my three characters, and we're running around punching everything, and shooting people's heads off, obviously, as a shark, but not shooting everything. So, yeah. Does that make sense? I feel like I might.
Yeah, no, I actually think that makes a lot of sense. After you explain that, okay, like, I get what you were thinking. So,
I just wasn't expecting the level of running out, shooting. Like, everything, you watch the trailer, it's shooting, jetpack, shooting. Like, even with Captain Boomerang, it's shooting. And I was just like, huh. I expected it to be a little bit of that, especially with Deadshot, obviously. But I expected each of the characters to play. They are going to play fundamentally different, obviously, but more different. You know,
I don't know if they'll play super different to one another. I think they'll have like unique abilities, but I don't know if they'll feel super different to one another.
No, they will.
Regard, I think they will.
Yeah.
I think just from what we saw, they looked like they played like each of them play drastically different from what we saw. You know, Boomerang was going around teleporting. He had a shotgun. They didn't have the same type of weaponry.
Nope, that's true.
I seeing that and seeing how different the four characters played, and Harley Quinn had her little flying bat drone, which I thought was a little funny, and her hanging off of it. Like, all that got me excited. Kind of, which is, this is gonna be horrible to say, but it kind of made me think of Anthem to a degree.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, where it's like seeing that it's all gun gameplay and like the gameplay aspect of it, where it's like if there's the main combat is like gun gameplay and they throw abilities at you that you can use, and that whole aspect, they make it fun in that regard. I'm very, very excited for this game.
Yeah, it still feels feels very linear though, right? Do we get that feeling, or do we think we're going to like hubs and getting missions off people? And it doesn't feel like that, right?
I don't think we got a big enough slice of gameplay to really tell from that.
I hope it's linear.
Me too.
I don't think it is linear.
Really?
I
hope I'm wrong.
I don't.
You think it's going to be more like Anthem?
I think it's going to be more like Overwatch. Not Overwatch. Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah, like go here, you pick up a mission, you go there, you do that mission, you then go here. I don't want it to be that. I'd much rather it be Guardians of the Galaxy linear with what they've shown us gameplay. And hopefully that's what we do get. But yeah, we just don't know at this point.
Yeah.
That's also quite difficult though, because if you're gonna emphasize so much on movement like they have, you need these like really big open spaces, and so it's more difficult to put a linear game in that, right?
That's also level design. So it really depends what they like, what we see next from it. I trust Rocksteady enough to like have seen this gameplay and it look good to like trust them the rest of the way that they'll deliver on this game.
I just want to clarify it. Though it looked different to what I was expecting, I do think it looks very good. It took me off guard is all. Right. Next up, we had Forspoken. I actually think this was Forspoken's worst showing. Not coming to Xbox, so it doesn't matter, but I actually thought this was the worst showing they had of this game so far. Space Marine 2 was shown, new Saints Row gameplay, and we've spoken about Saints Row before. Either of you guys changed your mind? I know both of you were super lukewarm on what we first saw. Did this help at all?
This did the opposite. This solidified like this is not going to be a game for me. It was very, very Saints Row 3 heavy, and that's just where I stopped really caring about Saints Row. Which, like, if I know people that pick up this game, I'll pick it up for the co-op because the co-op was fun in Saints Row 3. But other than that, like, I don't really see myself investing too much into it, aside for the podcast. So,
kind of the opposite. Like, it got me a little bit more excited for it. I don't necessarily know why exactly. Like, there's nothing in it.
The first trailer you watched, I think your comments were along the lines of, "What the hell are we doing?" And I was,
Yeah.
I'm a hardcore Saints Row fan, so it was more, I was saying, well, you know what we're doing, it's Saints Row. We know what we're doing. Like, we don't need to see that. And you were very much like, well, I'm not a hardcore Saints Row fan. What am I doing?
Yeah, exactly. And they were just showing off kind of the world and the beauty of it. And I was sort of, why are we seeing this? Because this isn't what Saint Rose is about, right? And this is what Saint Rose is about. And so, like, I'm, more excited for it. I don't know. I don't know why. I'm not like super excited, and I don't think this was even a top 5 moment of the show, top 10 moment of the show necessarily. But more excited than certainly I was before.
Fair enough. Yeah, for me, it unfortunately, I'm with Crash where it's Saints Row 3. It's not Saints Row 1. It's not Saints Row 2. Thankfully, it's not Saints Row 4, but it's Saints Row 3. And all that comes with Saints Row 3 is it's fun, it's dumb, it's interesting, yes, and I think I will play it, and probably to completion, but I was hoping we were going to get a rebooted Saints Row from 1, not from 3. And that's not what we're getting, unfortunately, by the looks of things.
Like you said, I'm not a big Saints Row guy. What in here put you off, and what were you hoping to see from Saints Row 1 and 2 that you didn't get here?
I just want to go back to the basics of gangs in terms of gangster gangs, each of them having their turf. And this game has that. You can tell it has that because they've got like the factions, they were going through them and stuff like that. But I don't like any of the look of any of them. Like the cast of characters even looks like a bunch of hipsters trying to be gangsters.
Yeah. So it's a tonal thing.
Yeah.
I think they missed the mark on the tone.
It's even like the skydiving bit was like, that's cool, but I don't think I want that in something like Saints Row, right? I want it to be a bit more grounded. I want it to be a bit more gritty, I guess. Like humor is fine, and I think even Saints Row 1 had that. I don't think that it was absent of that, but it is the right type of humor. And Saints Row 3, I think, deviated from that the most. Yeah, and set apart a different tone for the series.
Yeah, I think for me as well, like you had these iconic characters that I've been with from the first game all the way through to the last, right? Even with like DLC, Get Out of Hell, stuff like that. And I understand we're rebooting and we're restarting and stuff, but there's no mate, again, just from the trailers we've seen, there's no remnants of them there, and that is what made the series special to me. And I understand we've got to get to know these characters and the customization's there, and it looks like it's going to have the like driving around Saints Row is also like a really big thing of like dodging traffic. You get like style points for it and stuff like that. That all looks like it's there, and like the ragdolling missions, I can't remember what they were called. That's all of it's there, but from what I've seen and the way it's packaged, I just don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
that's fair. No, that's fair. That is absolutely fair.
Next up, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. We got a story trailer for this. It didn't, again, this is one of those games that I'm already sold on, so they literally didn't need to show me this ever again. I would have bought it, I would have played it, I would have loved it. The trailer didn't do anything for me either way. It didn't make me more excited or less excited for the game. It's more Borderlands told in a way that I know is going to be good. If I consider that DLC to be one of the best DLCs ever, this game can at least be good, and that's all I'm expecting.
Yeah, this actually put me more in line to looking forward to it. Not in the sense that I think I'm going to be blown away by it, or I'm going to love it, or what it is, but I sort of, while watching this, kind of got reminded, like, this is based off the Tiny Tina DLC. I really like that DLC, and it was Borderlands, but I enjoyed it. I think for me, it really was when they were like, it's different from your usual Borderlands. It's going to be different. It's not the same thing. Yeah. And when we first saw gameplay, it was like, this is the same thing. It's not different. So understanding that now and seeing it here, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm in for this now. I'm willing. I also want to point out, on stream, I asked Fix if it was my Xbox and me playthrough of the Tiny Tina DLC, and Fix completely shrugged me off. I just want to point it out.
I did, but then I did come back and say maybe because of the thing we spoke about. So maybe
you said maybe a playthrough, not maybe a playthrough, maybe a let's play, maybe an episode.
We're not doing a whole playthrough. It's never happening. You're not going to get all of us on the same time zone to do it. It's not going to happen with enough time. Look at Matt's face now.
Matt's
He wants
face
to
is a
leave
lot of
now.
disappointment on you.
No, that is not true at all. I've got all the time in the world tonight. But what I was going to say is I have no interest in. I'm not a big Borderlands guy and no real interest in this game. And so that was why I was pulling that face, is because you guys would. But I mean, I would be sort of for playing it with you guys, and I'd probably enjoy it.
Both of you guys
have fun,
just ruining my dreams, just shattering them completely.
I'm sorry, Chris. I'm sorry.
Nothing there to respect. You know, it's all good. Don't worry about it.
New trailer for a Plague Tale. How do you say this? It's a Plague Tale Requiem.
Requiem, yeah.
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 If you didn't play a Plague Tale Innocence, you have done yourself a disservice, and that is coming from someone who doesn't enjoy stealth games. I played the game from start to finish and loved it, and I do not enjoy stealth games usually. Fantastic.
I bounced off after maybe 3-4 hours.
Oh. Wow.
It's not that long though, right?
Not really.
10 hours?
Something like that. Yeah, I mean, check how long to be. That's what I do. But yeah. The new game looks amazing. I can't wait to jump in. Graphically, looks like an upgrade.
Yes.
Story-wise, want to see it. Looks a little bit more action-focused as well. Looks like there's a little bit more action in there, which obviously I will enjoy a bit more. We got to see another trailer for Dying Light 2. This was the human cinematic trailer. Again, another game that I'm looking forward to playing. This trailer didn't help it or hinder it in any way. This tonally, I feel like it's just like, we understand. Yeah, cool. You can tell a story in a cinematic trailer. Cool. Do it in the game for me.
You know what? I absolutely agree, because when I was watching it, it gave me very Dead Island vibes.
Yes.
You know
yes,
how Dead Island had the amazing trailer when it came out, and then the game comes out and it's like, oh, the trailer speaks nothing to the game, and that's the vibe I got from this. And it's like, ooh, I really hope that there is a good story there. But for some reason, every time I get more story with this game, I'm like, it just depletes my hope for that.
Well, next up was Crossfire X. I've got nothing to say, honestly. Like,
no.
Dying Light 2,
100%.
we've seen it a lot as well, and they keep doing these. They keep doing the streams for them. They keep sending me weird bits of paper, like, be ready for the stream, and I'm like, okay, I guess if that's what we're doing, sure. Like, that must have cost you a hell of a lot of money to send me a bit of paper to tell me when the stream was from, like, DHL, like the packaging, like to deliver that to my house. It's just like, you didn't need to do this, guy, I promise. Just email me. It's okay. Crossfire X, the brand new Remedy story-driven game. This is from the Chinese take of the MMO. No, it's not an MMO. What is it?
It's an MMO. I think they consider it an MMO shooter.
Oh, okay. An MMO
it's an
shooter.
FPS shooter. I think they consider it an MMO. Don't.
Yeah, Remedy are taking the story on this, right? And that's what's got me excited. I couldn't give a crap about Crossfire X personally, but Remedy telling a story in a shooter, I'm in for.
100% agree.
Same. I think every time I see like this campaign, whenever they show glimpses of it or whatever, I get excited for it. I think this might be the first Remedy game I actually enjoy. So we'll see.
So you're not of the mind that Remedy have never made a bad game like me.
I've played I've played Alan Wake. I stopped playing Alan Wake. I didn't enjoy that. And then what was the second game they put out? Quantum Break. Quantum Break. And I played that and I just couldn't get into it.
That's when we first met, Crush. Around that.
One of the first stream I ever saw fixed streaming was Quantum Break.
In a shed watching TV. It's like, okay, well, this guy knows how to fuck, clearly. Trust me, I know. Moving on, the next one was, we got a new Elden Ring story trailer. Do we count Elden Ring story trailer one of the 4 announcements that are as big as Elden Ring?
Definitely not.
No.
I didn't like this trailer.
Interesting. Matt, did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it, but like, just I'm so excited for that game. I don't need to see any more. I almost don't want to see any more. And yeah, like, fine. I don't think it was like an incredible showing of it or anything. Like, it didn't get me excited. But then the story of Elden Ring is not the thing that I'm really looking forward to.
You just said it didn't get you excited. That's the definition of what this is. So I would say it's a terrible trailer.
I actually got very excited off this trailer.
But no one likes you, so it's fine.
That's
Wow.
I think I just realized I like lore and stuff, and when
Yeah.
there's trailers that's for lore, I'm all for it.
Right.
Not
I
at the
think part
Game
of-
Awards. That's
was
that's
fine with
the
it.
problem is I can't get all of that into my eyeballs and understand it all while watching it at the Game Awards, where I can if you just drop a trailer like that. I'll pause it and I'll listen and I'll rewind.
if they
And I know
just
I can do
drop-
all that.
If they just drop a trailer like that, you're saying that you would actually do that. You wouldn't fix. You just don't.
could
You just
lie
want
to
to have the
you and
option
tell
to
you I
avoid
did.
it. Yes.
Okay.
I got you. I get you.
Exactly.
I get you. That's fair. I'm not mad at that answer.
Yeah, it did nothing for me, but again, these games are not aimed at me. So I'll play them and go, oh, I played it, but these games are not aimed for me.
Honestly,
Sorry, go
yeah.
on. No, go on.
No, you go. You go.
I was just going to ask you, are they your sort of games? Like, have you finished Dark Souls? You like Bloodborne?
I've Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne. I don't think I finished Bloodborne. I think I got pretty close. Story of my life. I got close to that thing and didn't finish it.
Shocker!
But
Fresh
yeah, I
always
do
gets
like
close to
these.
the end. Always.
I just can't finish. Apologize.
Why are you
the rails,
apologizing?
man.
It's funny. Keep going.
Recently, I played through the Demon Souls on PS5 recently, and I
Yeah.
never appreciated the story the way I did playing it this time.
Interesting.
Okay.
And so, because of that, because when I played it, I was younger. In
Sure.
general, when I played Souls games, I wasn't really paying attention to the story the way I don't want to say I should have been, because Souls games are very vague with their story in general.
Well, they're just obtuse, right? Like, it's difficult
Yeah.
to
I'm 30
get the
years
story.
old almost. I still can't follow it. So sure as hell you at 10 weren't following it.
Yeah.
So that just playing through it and like fully understanding the story and paying attention to the story this time got me more excited when I saw this, because I guess I understand tonally what they're going for, and it gets me excited for the universe they're creating in general.
Yeah. Cool.
Lex, you look like you got a comment to say. Looks like you want to say something.
I was thinking about something else, so it's all good. And we'll go with the last trailer here, the one that Jeff was really, really hyping up, and I don't quite get it, and I haven't tried it for myself yet. So I'm seeing people freaking out about it though, so maybe I'm wrong. It was the Matrix Awakens trailer, which obviously had Keanu Reeves and Carrie Ann Moss talking about it and saying how this is going to sort of change the way we view entertainment and all of this stuff. It's the Unreal Engine 5 experience, is what it is. Has anyone played it? Did anyone get a chance to download it and try it out?
I have it. I don't know if you saw, but Yami posted a article in the Discord. Apparently, the Coalition worked on this.
That gets me way more excited.
Yeah, same.
Send me the link on Twitter, because I can't open Discord because we're doing the show.
Yes, I will send it to you right now.
Don't be super excited.
Don't be.
No.
Oh.
Don't be what?
Well, it's not that it's not good. It's not. It's fine. It's super like Matrixy meta. It's like having like I don't know. It's fine. It's fine. But it's not like a game. It's like
Well, it's not a game.
it's an
They never said it was
experience.
a game. It's an experience.
Yeah, they said it's an experience. Yeah. That's honestly, for me, that's what sort of got me out of. I don't care. I don't want to say got me out of being interested. I've never watched the Matrix movie. I can't say that I care for the Matrix. So it just made it that I wasn't really willing to even try it at that point. But knowing the Coalition made it means like I'll probably give it a try.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look, it's
Big
a short
art-
little
big-
thing. You
big article,
blaze through
sorry.
it. It's fine. Go on.
How the correlation worked with Epic to bring The Matrix Awakens to life on Xbox Series X. just want to see the bit about the correlation. One of those partners was the Coalition, sorry, the studio behind Gears series, who have been working with Unreal Engine for many years. With that experience under their collective belt, the team set out to support the development on the project while Epic created the demo. The Coalition got involved in helping to refine and optimize their vision, having previously worked with Epic on Unreal Engine 4 for support for the Xbox Series X. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like they just helped with optimization. So they didn't actually play a hand in what was built within what this is, but optimize as in it's good. It's good information to have in terms of them knowing how to use Unreal Engine 5 already to optimize games. That on its own is a huge thing for Xbox to have someone that's been working on this incredible technology. We can all agree on that. But yeah, I've not had a chance to play it. How long is this experience, Matt? Do you know?
20 minutes tops.
Oh, okay. Oh, really short then. So, okay,
yes. Which is kind of what scares me a little bit. Because it's 25 gig. It's big. And it's incredible and it's beautiful and Unreal Engine.
That's what I wanted to ask. How beautiful is it?
Stunning. It's amazing.
What, really?
25 gigs though.
It's 25 gig.
That doesn't bother me.
Yeah, but that
so
fresh
for me.
I'm MC Fixer. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no. I understand.
Red carpets, mate. Red carpets.
Red carpets, TV shows, got you.
TV shows. I'm a fucking big
that just gets me thinking for the next
we are
Gears
joking.
of War.
No, I have to stop. We are joking. It's a joke. Please do not come for me. Yeah, go
on. Just looking at the next Gears of War, and like if that was 25 gigs, and Gears of War is a pretty like big game now. The install size for that is like, what's the size of the next Gears of War gonna be?
200 gigabytes.
Yeah, imagine the next Gears of War doesn't fit on the Series S. That would be crazy.
That would be hilarious. I'd laugh so much. It would be.
Why would you laugh?
Because,
why would you laugh?
Because I told you so. That'd be why.
Wait. So I just want to clarify. You'd be laughing because I couldn't fit it on my Series S. Do you know why I got the Series S?
I'd be laughing at you specifically.
Do you know why I got a Series S?
Because you don't like to listen to me?
No. So when Gears of War comes out with a Series X, I could get the Gears of War Series X. It seems like you always forget that piece of information.
Forget that detail. You're right. You're right. You're right. Damn it. You're right. Matt just cracks up laughing.
Yeah, sorry. I was still thinking about The Matrix. I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I just don't want people to get their hopes up for it. It's a cool, interesting, unique thing. It's wicked to get into Unreal Engine 5 and see what's possible there, and that's really cool. I'm a big Matrix guy, and so any Matrix thing give me, I'm all for it. And it got me more excited for the movie, sure.
And that's what it was for.
Exactly. And that's what it was for. And it did its job. Yeah. And cool. But it's big for a very, very short experience.
Okay.
Scary pick.
So what would you say the 4 were before we wrap up this show? I'm guessing we assume Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
Alan Wake.
Yeah.
2. Star Wars Eclipse.
Yeah.
Yes.
3. And we're saying not Hellblade.
Hellblade or Matrix?
The reason I'll say Matrix.
Yeah.
The reason I'm gonna say not Hellblade because he said announcements, and Hellblade isn't an announcement.
That's
it's
fair.
a reveal.
Very fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so overall of the showing, I was let down though. We've just spoken for an hour and a half, hour and 20 minutes, whatever it may be, and only it sounds mean because there's so much shown. Not all of it's going to speak to me, and nor should it, right? Like they're trying to cater to a really large audience, but only a few of them were like really MC Fixer games, and there was nothing that really blew my skirt up. You know, I haven't worn a skirt in years, but I never got blown up.
Yeah, I think for me, it's not just that there weren't too many big announcements. It's that coupled with how long the show was. Because I don't think by any means the show was bad. I do think it was a solid show from beginning to end. I think production wise, I think this might be their best show production wise. There was one hiccup where you could hear people talking, but that was also really faint in the background. I think it was solid from that perspective. I just do think that for 3 hours, having that little amount of like big announcements, and I even think the announcement that you look at that they could say like, oh, these are the 4 big ones. I don't think they hit like that to that large of a gaming audience, the same size as Elden Ring does.
I think that's all fair, but I think, what is it, an award show or is it an E3 press conference?
It's both.
Like they
Award.
It's both, but they're trying to toe this line. We just spent an hour and a half just talking about the announcements, and then we're saying the show's long.
We didn't get to. We're not even going to get to talk. By the way, It Takes Two won Game of the Year. That's all you fucking care about. Goodbye this week. Goodbye Xbox. Like,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. You're right.
Yeah. So like, how much can you ask, right? Like, the expectations are so high for a show like this. I agree that the big 4 announcements that we've just listed off aren't insane. Like, they're not to the level of some of the previous year's Games Awards announcements and that kind of thing. But yeah, I think they toe this weird line of I would say, 50-50. They are a press conference and a award show. And it depends what you're there for.
Part of me kind of wishes they would like bring back the announcements a little bit and like sort of cut those a little bit shorter and cut the show a little bit shorter.
Yep.
But I don't know if I would call it a Game Award show or a press conference, more so than a game celebration show, because they also have game orchestras, the soundtrack, which Fix complained about quite a bit.
I did. That's true.
They revealed games. They celebrated the games this year. I did see who was it? I think it was from IGN, Agent Bizzle. I forget what his name is.
Yeah.
Brian Altano.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he had put out a recommendation that the show gets split into 2. The first half is awards, and the second half is announcements.
Agree.
And I think that would be a really interesting way to do it. The way he labeled it was like the first half is the current year, like the current celebration of what gaming is today, and the latter half was celebration of gaming's future. And I thought that was a really interesting way to put it, and that could really work.
You can't do that though, because the show needs to make money. People won't watch the first half. They know that's going to be the case. They won't watch the awards.
Yep.
The show needs to make money. Makes money by putting ads in there.
Oh, absolutely.
They need the Matrix at the end, so people stick around for it, so that people watch the ads all the way through.
Best ads of the show. Best ads. They had very good ads this year. Very good ads this year.
They didn't have too many ads that like sort of escaped. I don't think they had any that really escaped the realm of gaming, right?
They didn't have any,
they had no ads that sort of tried to force themselves like we're a gaming ad, or like no Gillette like sort of game.
Yeah,
or
the
something
Gillette
like that,
mascot
right?
guy was exactly what I was gonna say,
a little bit disappointing, but I think in that aspect it worked.
At this point, they should double down on that and just make a joke of it, and like have one each year that is just a ridiculous mascot man that's on stage doing something.
Well, this is my Xbox and me, our weekly Xbox podcast. We didn't get to what's been in your box. We didn't get to the winners. We didn't get to emails. We didn't get to Halo.
I was going to say, speaking of what's in your box, we're going to do a big Halo episode next week. Is that the plan? Fix is concerned. What's up, Fix? What are you thinking?
I don't know what my diary looks like. I hope so, yes.
Oh, we're going to do an episode next week. So
I can guarantee there's an episode next week. That's for sure.
Exactly.
That is for sure. Yes, the plan will be to do. I'm already looking at it. I've got a preview next week, and I've got some other stuff that I'm doing next week. I'm looking like Monday's the only day that I'm like free. I'm like, and I've still got to stream every day. I'm like, oh god.
We could
Monday and
record
Friday. Monday and Friday.
Well, we could, depending on where we are by Monday, we could try and sit down to have like a discussion on Halo for the My Xbox and Me channel.
Right on this week's episode, in the comments below on YouTube, questions about Halo, what you like, what you dislike, what you love, what you don't love, questions you have for a novice like myself who's been playing the game, what would you consider yourself, Matt? Where are you?
It's a good question. I don't really know. I've played all of them. I don't
me too.
understand the story in any of them.
Me too.
And I was really, really, really into Halo 3 multiplayer. And so I don't know where I put myself.
Okay,
I wouldn't say I'm like a mega fan by any means, but
yeah, and then Crash, who is he's the biggest super fan Halo guy you'll ever meet. Right, Crash?
You know what? I can't say that because I got dragged last time we said that, and I didn't correct you over a name of a map. Shout out to Anubis who dragged me on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
I enjoy Halo. I've always enjoyed Halo. I've played every Halo game. I find them fun. I'm wary to call myself a fan now. I enjoy playing them.
That's because you're on this podcast. That's why.
I was
Only because if you wasn't on #1 Xbox podcast hosted from my bedroom, you would be the biggest Halo fan ever. But because of the people that come from you get scared.
Yeah, because they're bigger fans.
They are bigger fans. They are.
Yeah.
But imagine me. Did you see the package I got sent from Xbox?
Yeah.
I was going to say.
Did you see how many DMs I got from people saying, but you don't even like Halo?
It's not why you get the package. It's funny that. It's almost like you got the package because you're an influencer fix.
I hate that word, but yes, you're right, Crash. You are correct.
So yes, leave comments on the YouTube video, tweet at my Xbox and me with your questions and your thoughts, and we will dig into Halo properly at some point.
Yeah, Monday.
Week.
No, Monday. All
right, let's do Monday.
Monday.
No, I can do Monday. I can do Monday.
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 Cool. Until then, we will love you, we will leave you, and we will see you all later. Good boys!
Bye.